Tenno to return. You are the Shaws.
Oh, we're live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Devstream 164. We're back on the couch for only an hour. Devstream. Only an hour.
We charge Pablo by the word now. So.
Yeah, so only an hour. Welcome to the stream. Now, before we jump into everything that we have going on, we do want to recognize that it is a National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. This is in honor of the children, families, and communities affected by residential schools. Digital Extremes has made a donation to the True North Aid. And obviously there's a lot happening all over the world right now, and we're obviously very happy that you're here with us, and we hope you're safe. So we hope that you enjoy hanging out with us for the next hour. And speaking of things that you can look forward to, we have Twitch drops. Veiled Riven Cypher is our Twitch drop. A little bit of a Riven-themed week today.
Do we have a policy? Can I get one in my account?
It depends. Are you watching? Are you logged in over there?
Does it count? Is there a loophole for us?
I
just got a Riven. Yeah, I know. Well, I have to. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Veiled Riven Cypher for your Twitch drop. And then we do have Gifts of the Lotus alerts later on. We have a Riven mod rifle as well as a Eximus weapon adapter. So you can look forward to that. Or Exilus, right? And of course, Platinum Prizes, Core Prime Access. Speaking of primes, we're going to be revealing the next prime. No one has guessed it yet.
I know, it's crazy.
No one's guessed it.
We give them the clues, but
Gave them a straight up image that everyone just increased the brightness.
No, they turned it down. They're like, I don't want to see.
I don't want to see it.
Very subtle hint of a full body picture.
I worked really hard to make that dark.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that you could just bump up the brightness.
That's okay.
We'll get into that later.
Actually, no one's got it right in chat yet, so that's kind of embarrassing for the community.
How embarrassing for you. But let's start with some introductions to the couch in case you're new here, new faces, familiar faces. We're going to start at the end over there.
Hello, Tenno. I'm Eric Preston, lead sound designer on Warframe. Nice to see everybody.
It's good to have you.
Hello, I'm Eric Vedder, lead concept artist.
Double
Nice
A.
to also see you.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure?
What's that?
You sure about that?
Well, we'll see.
Oh, chat.
We'll see.
Chat be
It's
nice. My name is Megan Everett. I'm the community director.
Hey, I was going to say I'm Megan. I'm Rebecca. I'm Rebecca Ford. I'm the creative director of Warframe.
And I am Megan. No, I'm Paolo, lead designer.
And overrunning the show,
Danny Sokolowski.
that was such an Eric move. Which Eric, though? Which one of you does the rave horns? I don't know. The sound
Sound guy.
You're going to
Yeah, I have a rave horn in my office.
Oh, of course, yes.
Oh, okay.
You guys are going to love Rave Frame. Real fun.
Rave Frame.
I guess that's just Mirage.
Or someone else with
Not Revenant Prime.
not. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Before we jump into anything, Danny, how do you feel about 1,000 platinum? Oh, she's nodding her head. She's giving the thumbs up. She's excited. She's ready. 1,000 platinum.
Who is the official reader this time?
I think usually it falls to the closest to the
Eric.
monitor, so
Eric Preston, not you.
I'll read it.
Eric Preston. Here we go. Oh,
can't read a word of that.
Baby Drone
It's
PS.
at the bottom? Oh, Pablo got it.
Baby Drone PS, congratulations
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
there it
1,000
is.
plat. Message us on our account or something and tell us about the
Well,
platform
let's
and
go
the
fully
stuff.
bilingual this stream. Can you say that in
Oh.
Spanish?
Baby Drone PS, congratulations. No, that's English. Felicidades.
Felicidades.
Por ganar 1,000 platinum. Why is it so hard to change languages?
great job.
Mid-word. No, that's English.
We try here on these streams. We try. We are going to, on this stream, we're going to take a look back at Veilbreaker, because the last time you saw us on this couch was showing you everything about Veilbreaker, because it hadn't gone live yet. It's live for everyone, so we're going to take a little bit of a look back, talk about some stuff that was included in it, maybe a little behind the scenes of Styanax sounds. Very exciting. Yes. And then, of course, we're going to look forward to what you can expect in October to get yourself ready, because that's literally tomorrow. So, I mean, nothing's happening tomorrow. I mean, actually there is. Anyways.
Oh?
Oh.
Oh! Right, okay.
Everything's fine. Let's talk about Veilbreaker, shall we?
Sure.
Get into it.
What would you like to talk about?
Anything you want.
All right. Well, it's out, and
It do be out?
yeah, it was kind of really cool for us. I think, you know, we wanted to give the 50th Warframe the spotlight, so a lot of people got, well, a lot of people got Styanax completely for free, which was really interesting because when we released the new upgrade system of the Archon shards, if you haven't played the new war, don't worry about it, you'll get there. we always kind of wonder, who's going to dominate the system, right? So we've released this Archon shard system, and players all have Styanax for free. And it may be obvious, but it kind of wasn't to me, but Styanax was also the most used frame in the Archon shard system. So for people that have all their arsenals, a lot of people chose to put their first Archon shard in Styanax, despite just getting him. So that was super cool that they used an upgrade system.
It was the most used in general. Generally, whenever we release a frame, they are the most used, but like barely. But he's like
well, because we gave him for free,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So like
for
it's so
sure.
obvious. Like what we're saying may sound obvious, but when you look at the stats, update over update, like it's just great to see that people logged in to get the 50. Like it's just really exciting.
Felt shocking to see Wukong down to second place.
I
was
know,
like, what's happening?
I know, and yeah, well, yeah.
Speaking of Wukong,
Yes.
you want to talk about it?
Well, I think so. We, as you know, we did put some nerfs and some buffs in with Wukong, and right now, like the worst defense of Wukong was the automated play, and I think anecdotally, it's kind of gone down a lot.
Yeah, stats-wise, I mean, obviously, if you discount Styanax, because obviously he's the most used, stats-wise, Wukong is still heads and shoulders the most used frame by quite a margin. But at least anecdotally, the more like just sit there and let your clone play for you gameplay has gone down. We don't, like I said, since obviously right now Styanax hasn't like leveled off, it's very hard to really rely on stats for the first few weeks.
Yeah.
So for most things that we're judging sort of like the consequences of changes from Veilbreaker, we're still like far off from being able to like rely on
there's no
stats.
conclusive way that we're going to sit here. Like Megan said, the last month Veilbreaker wasn't out, our last Devstream that you saw us, and now we're here and it is out. And yeah, we did a lot in it. We changed ammo. We really did a lot, and we have some thoughts on where everything's going to go from here. But one trend we're starting, I think, this year, the new war launched, and then in 2022, we gave you the Echoes of War as like a follow-up update, and we did the same thing with Angels of the Zeramin, where we released Angels of the Zeramin, and then we did Echoes of the Zeramin, and we're going to do the same thing with Veilbreaker, where we do an Echoes update, which is sort of a version of things that either are really feedback driven that we just needed a bit more time on. So we are going to do an Echoes of Veilbreaker update that is going to touch a few things, actually including we are going to, if everything goes according to plan, you'll finally see the thing we showed years ago with Venkra and Sprague.
that was a while back.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
there they are. But is that really them?
but is it really them? This was a proof of concept that we're reworking them. So we are planning on bringing them into Veilbreaker or Echoes of Veilbreaker for Kahl. So they'll have a role to play there for the Kahl missions. So you can look forward to that within the roster of Kahl weeklies. Within the existing ones, there'll be an added thing to do, and we'll talk more about that. So, and their weapons will be skins. So if you want to bonk with that hammer, you will be free to do so, and I'm sure there will be many deserved.
Can we do bonking sounds?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, great.
Would you do a custom sound for a skin? Usually we don't, because
Usually we don't do custom sounds, but if it warrants it, we
Yeah.
may.
We could.
We could.
but we
There
don't
could
commit
be-
to things on stream, because then you're just going to be
I won't commit to bonking sounds quite yet.
Quite yet.
quite yet.
But the
Not
seed's
ready.
been planted.
Not ready yet.
Right, so you can. So in the Echoes, we are planning on bringing them into the fold for Kahl because they are Grenier, and there's maybe a story to be told there about what's going on. And then we are basically with Veilbreaker. We released the Archon hunts, we released Veilbreaking, and then we did a whole bunch of balance and QOL changes. And of those, which ones still kind of have a long tail? So there's basically two threads that are unresolved and that we can talk about today. One is AOE.
Rewinding just a tiny bit more.
How dare you?
Sorry.
But yes.
I just like in terms of the content for Kahl, it was kind of adventurous for us because it was
Yeah.
not something that we usually do. It's the single player, more story based kind of missions and stuff. So we're still kind of feeling our way around it, and it's not. So to the stories that we have right now, expect some additions such as
those are going to be
sisters.
within the existing weeklies,
Yeah.
and then we're going to be reviewing more because I think it's fun to try and play and do these new things, but we know that we have Duviri on the horizon, which we really need to focus on, so we're not going to be adding a new chapter to Kahl anytime soon. We're going to be expanding the existing ones with more side content in them.
Yep.
And improvements to the challenges, some cumulative thoughts there.
Yeah. Do we commit to that one? I mean, we already did it, so we already coded it, so
Yeah.
might as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for a lot of the challenges in Kahl, we're gonna make them cumulative. So, for example, if it's like the find the medallions
yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
or find the pieces of the K drive or whatever, you can find 3 in the first mission, and that will get saved. And then when you get 2 on the next mission, that will complete. So you don't have to find them in the same one.
Yeah.
We're still deciding which ones work like that and which ones do require you to do them in the same. One example is, for example, the password one that then you unlock a box. Since the challenge itself is to unlock the box, that one might stay still within one mission, but we're still revising that
Yeah.
sort of stuff.
Yep. Exactly. All right. And as I was saying,
Now,
If I might go back.
I don't even remember. All right. I think I was talking about AOE and actually something that the Archon hunts introduced as just a general hot topic. So with AOE, we're still looking at it, and we're not going to have a huge solution anytime soon. I think last Devstream we said, all right, here's what we're going to do, and here's what we might do if what we do isn't enough. And what we did, of course, is ammo, and then we also buffed the whole
Headshots,
all that stuff. And when I think when you mentioned that, yeah, and then we'll like maybe self-CC will come back. That was like the one thing players don't.
yeah.
But then there was self-damage, and there's still a path we are experimenting with internally on bringing self-damage back. Internally, we're looking at it, and I think that's probably the most we're looking in for AOE right now.
Yeah, so basically it's too early to tell really the effects of this.
Yeah.
Just, again, stats are super volatile. Like if I check stats this week versus last week, they're actually quite different. So it's going to take a little bit for it to settle down and for us to actually be able to rely on that sort of
We're
stuff.
not committing to anything on this stream.
Yeah.
We're telling you what we're looking at so that when we have a bigger conversation about it, you kind of have context. Because ultimately, we don't want to come out and make a change without you at least seeing what we were discussing and why. And the answer just comes down to the 3 core things you've mentioned about, is it disrupting other people's play, is it automated, or is it dominant? And there's ways to tweak levers there and look at those, but we don't have a solution yet, but we're still looking at it.
Yeah, one of the main things that came from feedback from the last stream is when we were talking about other things that we were looking at, including the making primed sure-footed not apply to self-damage. That one was immediately, everyone hated it, with the thought that basically a lot of people really dislike the self-CC when you do the AOE. In fact, we saw several comments that were like they prefer the self-damage compared to the self-CC. So that got us thinking, because the problem right now is like you can ignore the self-CC once you reach day 400. So if the self-CC is really that bad, then probably should change it in general versus just say leave it for players below day 400 and then keep it for above. Now we know self-damage as it existed had a lot of problems, so we're trying a new version. And again, this is just something we're trusting in dev. Might never make it to the live build. It might make it to the live build. We don't know. But basically what we're trying is we're removing the self-CC. We're changing the self-damage to be percent-based. So basically, you cannot one-shot yourself. If you shoot at yourself at your feet, you take 75% of your health. If you shoot 10 meters away, you take 25% or something like that. And this also accounts for multi-shot. If you shoot a friendly that's close to you, the damage is reduced. So if someone walks in front of you, we got a lot of extra stuff that we're doing.
Yeah, it's not the same as just what it was. It's not like you'll go into an Archon mission with a launcher and with the rules in Archon missions that it's like death is guaranteed. You're not going to kill yourself in an Archon hunt. You're just going to wound yourself. And so
the main objective is that it should feel scary if you blow a missile in front of your own face. That's it. Like you should really feel like there's like you did bad. You should
no friendly fire, and you can't completely one-shot yourself.
Yeah.
Percent-based where the percent is not 100.
And the case on the range of the explosion and the range itself of the explosion is smaller for self-damage than it is for damage.
Yeah.
So there's like a whole bunch of things that we're trying right now. Again, we're not committing to doing that. It's just something we're experimenting with right now.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of Archon hunts, there is a world of Warframe that the longer you play, the more powerful you get. We all know this. And a lot of our content you can kind of one-shot. And the Archons are currently content that, aside from a few bugs, you they aren't meant to be one shot. And that is because of one system we have, which is damage attenuation, which is our version of trying to make a fight last longer than a certain period of time. And there's a lot of strong opinions on this. And generally speaking, I think the last time we talked about this would have been in a forum post. And our view on this is we need to figure out a way that will make the content that you guys want to play and we want to make last and feel fun. And absent of new mechanics and all of these things, it's hard to do because our damage is crazy and all of our weapons and combos go in really interesting ways where you can see your million billion overflow crits, and bosses really can't survive that. So we do have damage attenuation, and generally speaking, we are looking at making it better. We don't exactly know how yet for the Archons for a future update.
Yeah, basically, the main kind of like the main path we took with these fights were to try and grab the fights that we had from the new war, kind of scale them up to multiplayer, and basically make them buffer. So if you play the new war and you fought that third Archon, you know that it got absolutely wrecked once you got there with your Warframe. So that was the main intent that we had here. We didn't really set out to make 3 fights with entirely new mechanics because we simply did not really have the time for such an endeavor. And we also, by experience, we know that some fights that we've done that are mechanic exclusive, such as the orb, things like that, those also get a lot of people get annoyed because then your DPS kind of doesn't matter. So yeah, it's
hard.
It's hard. We are very aware that we have that bosses are not a solved thing in Warframe. That we still kind of are feeling our way around. Obviously, I don't think they're like. You wouldn't say that they're like the strongest part of Warframe, right? Like
I think a lot of us have been working on and playing Warframe for so long. Maybe some of you are new to the game today. That a lot of these conversations may or may not be something you're even at yet at a content point. And generally speaking, I think we have a very rich world of very interesting things, but there's memes like the Sergeant and
right.
Because that's holding the spot of boss, but we all know that then there's other bosses that are just, like the Jackal rework players loved when we did the Jackal rework, and we have to look at all these reasons, what people love about them, and fit them into our content plans and revisions as we go. And I would say with damage attenuation, we know what it is that certain players don't like about it, but we also know that at the end of the day, there is an Archon fight to be had for a lot of our players, and if we take it off, and we want to balance it to those super high-end players, no one below them will be able to kill the boss if you put billions and billions of health. And ultimately, with these fights, what we're going to do is we're going to continue to look at the damage attenuation. We're going to see if there's a version of it. I don't want to commit to anything that we're trying behind the scenes because it might not seem as though it'll be a success, and that's why we just need to keep trying. And I'd rather show you what we think we have that'll work to improve it, and then we can probably do that in a future dev stream. But
yeah, what we can't really do at this moment is like, because I've seen this mentioned several times, make the fights be 3 fights like the Ropalo list or with like the Jackal. You know, like those take a long time to make, and the reality is that just we cannot. We just can't do it. That's the truth.
Yeah, so far in this dev stream, we're gonna look, we might add a different version of self-damage back, and we're gonna look at damage attenuation, but we know that bosses are a fun part for you to work towards as a goal, and we're still figuring stuff out with them, so. Good news, sister? Everyone's like, what the hell is going on? It's fine, we are very invested in all of these things, and
Can
the team.
you repeat all that?
Oh my God. If I may take a step back.
Go right ahead.
Styanax. No, Rev talked about Styanax being obviously our 50th Warframe. People got him for free, got to experience him. And one of the things, and I think I even showed this on the prime time before Veilbreaker went live, and I even messaged Eric about it, was I was kind of discovering things about the sound of Styanax that I didn't realize existed until I really listened to them. Now I know we have a video, but I'm going to look to Eric for any context before we play our little Styanax video.
Yeah, so when we kind of saw Styanax and started thinking about the sounds for Styanax, there was just so much like potential in that Warframe just from the visuals of what we could do. So Slater Groves is the sound designer who worked on it, and you'll see the video of him kind of taking you through his process. But one of the things that we discussed was giving him somewhat of a voice behind his helmet, which is kind of something that a lot of players have commented on and enjoyed, I think. And another thing we wanted to sort of convey was the feeling of, being part of a group of warriors, especially, his fourth ability. You can hear kind of the warriors in the background all yelling and chanting. So we really wanted to bring those two elements to that frame, and I think Slater did a great job doing that. And of course, we added a few things like the armor clinking when you run to kind of give him a little bit more of a different feel than other Warframes. And I think adding little textures like that is something we might do a bit more in the future too for other Warframes.
I literally thought I was crazy. I'm like, am I hearing things?
Yeah, the custom Foley's.
Yeah, I kept going like back to normal Warframes, and I'm like running around. I'm like, is it there? Is it the same? And I was like, oh, I'm
subtle.
not crazy.
It's in there, but it's subtle.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Lavos kind of has a similar thing with like the bottles of liquid
Clinky,
jiggling,
clink,
and yeah. So yeah, we like doing things like that. We do spend a lot of time working on the sound for those Warframes. But yeah, the video that we're going to show is hopefully going to satisfy anyone's curiosity who kind of wants to see what goes into making one of these. So it takes, it took a good amount of time, but happy with how it turned out. And Slater
Speaking
did
of
a great job.
time, about to enjoy a 7-minute lovely sound video. Shout out to Slater. Enjoy the sounds of Styanax.
Hey Tenno, my name's Slater, and I'm the sound designer behind Warframe's 50th Warframe, Styanax. Today, I just want to give you a behind-the-scenes look at some of his abilities, and also talk about the inspiration behind the sound of this Warframe. So the audio brief for Styanax was to make him sound a bit like a techno Viking, but we didn't want to push him too far into techno land, so we added in things like vocalizations and also metal foley when he's running and across all the abilities to just sort of ground him in an organic universe. So let's take a look first at some of the vocalizations. So on his army ability, we have a more spoken word type thing. And then for the bash and impale abilities, we have more exertions. So let's take a listen to what these vocals sound like without any processing at all. My voice acting skills are perfection. The first thing I added in was a bit of pitch so that the voice is lower. And then several instances of vocal synth to sort of give it the Darth Vader-esque helmet effect on the voice. And also there's a lot of mastering on this and saturation to just sort of give him a bit of grit. And that's my processing chain across all the abilities on Styanax's vocals. One thing that's unique for this army ability is that I added in a bit of delay. That sort of carries out over when Styanax has risen into the air and has the army all around him. So in context, this is how it sounds. Another ability where we added some unique vocals is on Styanax's third ability, his rally ability. So for this we wanted to create a sense of a call to arms because you get buffed. So Eric and a few other sound designers went into the studio and recorded a bunch of group vocals, and you'll hear them all together when Styanax lowers his arms. So it sounds like this. And just to show you quickly how that all sounds on its own, so the whole ability together using some Daiko drums, sub-stingers, whooshes, and metal impacts sounds like this. And then the group vocal that we recorded sounds like this on its own. You may also recognize those group vocals used on two other Styanax sound effects. The first one being on the rally cooldown. So the cooldown sound effect sounds like this. Consists of similar things to the rally cast itself. So the drums. And then I added in metal, like a distinct metal ping, a big metal whoosh, and also a metal impact. And then, of course, our group vocals, all together sounding like this. We also used group vocals on Styanax's ultimate ability, the army ability. So when Styanax rises into the air, we have group walla recorded to sort of give you the sense that all of those apparitions that appear are surrounding you. So on its own, it sounds like this. And then we recorded some more close-up elements that are panned left and right that are more in your face. And combined again, it sounds like this. Now, moving away from the vocalizations a little bit, I just wanted to do a quick rundown on all of the sounds that make up that fourth ability. I won't go too far in depth on them, but just to give you an idea of what's going on. So, on all of the abilities, we have an initial cast sound, and that cast sound is what you get as soon as you press 4. Sounds like this. And then there's also a release sound, so it'll be that cast sound and then a release sound for when he starts to rise into the air. And along with the cast release sound, I have a vocal riser that I made out of the group vocal sounds, and this riser just kind of plays over top of the cast release and sets up that walla loop that plays, and it sounds like this. So that's the first little bit of the fourth ability. Also, while Styanax is in the air, all of the apparitions that appear when they throw a spear, they'll play these little spear sounds. And there's explosions that go along with those. And of course, the spear throws on Styanax himself that are a bit different than the Impale spear throws. And last but not least is a big, chunky end sound for when Styanax comes down from the air and lands. So for this sound, I really wanted to make it as satisfying as possible to sort of close out that ability. So it sounds like this on its own. And to show you briefly the sounds that make that up, so we have a few impacts, and then there's a bunch of armor foley, of course some car explosions, and a sub stinger. All together once again, it sounds like this. Okay, so those are all the little pieces that make up Styanax's fourth ultimate ability. So now that you know all of that, here is that ability one last time for context. Thank you so much for listening, Tenno. I hope you enjoy the rest of the stream. See you later.
Yay, Slater!
Thank you, Slater.
I thought we were gonna go.
Car explosion, car explosion.
There you go. Just behind the scenes look, you know, classic dev streams used to go all deep and all kinds of crazy things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, behind the scenes stuff. I think, like when you're obviously playing it, Warframe, very fast-paced game, you hear stuff, you're like, that's cool, and then you move on to the next thing, but when you really look at like how the sauce is made, it blows my mind.
Lots of layers, lots of
Really
bunks,
cool. Yeah,
so
lots of
many
car
layers,
crashes.
lots of car
Everything in the
crashes.
game has that trail to even get it in the game.
Oh yeah.
Some of the things we're going to show you today, new stuff. Talk about, you know, upcoming content.
Every sound has either car explosions or Brussels sprouts.
It's all in there, always.
Yeah, I'm sad of the lack of Brussels sprouts in
Yeah.
Styanax.
That's where we start. We
He's a
prototype
Spartan.
with Brussels sprouts and then.
Go to cards.
No, he's a carnivore. He's not going to use Brussels sprouts. He's,
Oh.
you see his one-arm pull-ups? There's no way that's a Brussels sprout-based
No.
macro diet. Come on,
Protein.
35 eggs.
35. Disgusting. All right. We're going to move on to a reveal.
Oh.
Like I said, no one's guessed it. No one knows what's happening. Right, Pablo?
Who could it be?
Who could it be? I don't know. We are going to reveal our next Prime Warframe. Just play the tape, Danny.
What fatherless aberration is this? Who brings the wicked gift of an unknown mask this Naberus night? Seething with the void. Mocking me and causality alike. And what strange cruelty named him? To know and defy his death. This shadow of ill omen. This grim harbinger. This Revenant.
Woo! There he is. No one guessed
Like we're
it.
clapping and it's like, yes,
Woo!
yes.
Revenant Prime.
That's awesome.
Phantasma Prime, Tatsu Prime, got some Vitala Prime armor, and his own Prime Styanax as well will be coming with him. Like I said, no one guessed it. No one had any idea it was Revenant Prime.
If anyone guesses, maybe we can give them 1,000 plats.
No, I'll be broke. I'll be very broke. But like you might have maybe spied in that video, October 5th, and that's next week.
See you then.
See you then. It's spooky season. Now, obviously, Revenant, normal Revenant came out a bit ago, and his sounds, they're pretty unique, I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah, they incorporate a bit of the Eidolon in there if you're listening closely.
Whale sounds?
Yes.
Car crash.
And car crash.
Oh, okay.
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
He's a sprout boy.
Yeah, there you go. October 5th, Revenant Prime is going to be gracing your presence. Now, I get to drive the ship today, guys.
I'm well aware
in terms
of
of
what's
gameplay.
about to happen.
Danny, would you like to switch over?
Oh.
This is what, with great change comes great
Oh,
responsibility.
there it is. Oh my God, I'm too weak. I'm too weak.
Yep. Well, you need more Brussels sprouts.
It's true. I'm lacking Brussels sprouts.
We need a soundboard of Jeff saying like, what are those colors?
What are those colors?
Jeff soundboard. Guys, because I get to drive the gameplay, you're going to experience some colors. So just brace yourself for impact. Anyways, we're going to show you Revenant Prime in the flesh arsenal. We're going to go.
The flesh arsenal. Okay, right. Let's write that one down. The old.
Here he is, Revenant Prime. Wow.
Damn.
Cool.
That's
Got
my boy, my son.
Phantasma
Awesome.
Prime and
That's
the Tatsu Prime. Yeah.
Oh, what's that pink energy color there? I guess that's
That's
your element.
default.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's default.
That's probably your elements on him.
No.
I appreciate the pop collar.
Yeah.
The call is great.
Yeah. Really,
The
really
energy
great.
flowing out, beautiful.
Yeah, he looks very good. In case you were curious, this is with the armor on. This is his Vitala Prime
look at
armor. He's got
that.
the
Oh,
chest.
Oh,
So nice.
oh
Yeah.
my God, he's so
Got
sick.
his legs, and this is also the Styanax as
Oh.
well.
And what would be behind door number 3, Megan? What's behind?
Why do you think I have another loadout?
What's going on in door number 3?
Why do you think I have another loadout?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Oh, come on! Come on! Come on, artist! Come on! Jeff! Artist?
Good, Al.
Any Easter fans?
10 out of 10? Yeah, very dark magician, actually.
6.5.
Little,
Well, passing grade though.
Yeah.
yeah, a pass. He looks great. Coming October 5th, my friends.
Yeah,
yourself
so that's
a Revenant Prime.
pretty hype. Maybe some of you, I like seeing people cycle through Warframe and, oh, I remember when Revenant released, and now he's getting Prime. That makes me, you know, it is a weird feeling because they're all so new to me still, but they're kind of not because time takes no prisoners.
Honestly, when I saw that it was Revenant, I was like, really already?
Oh, look at that! Yep.
I mean,
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
it's no 6 out of 5.
Oh,
6.5. That is pretty cool.
Maybe it is 6 out of 5.
6 out of 5. Thank
And
you
if you
very
listen closely to the words of Valis in the trailer, there is a little bit of intrigue into what and how this might be possible.
Very
So,
true. Listen closely. Play it back
Play it back.
in your own time. So there he is. There's Revenant Prime. Do you like that? Oh.
Should be
Thought you got excited. There is October 5th, Revenant Prime access on all platforms will be coming. Like I said, Phantasm Prime, Tatsu Prime, got some sweet Prime armor. You can get yourself what we were talking about. He is a vampire. He is our vampire boy.
He is in
Does
some
he scratch that itch?
Don't make me say it.
Okay.
He has archetypes in that realm, but also sentient Eidolon,
course.
specific ones.
Of course he is.
In terms of shielding and teleporting, such things as this. And lasers.
And
Can't go-
lasers.
can't go wrong
Laser
with lasers.
fingers. Always appropriate.
Yeah.
Classic vampire trope.
Dracula with
laser
his laser
vampires?
fingers.
I don't know. There's a lot of vampire texts out there, so I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss the lack of
It's
laser
somewhere.
vampires.
It's somewhere.
There are somewhere.
Vampires are cool.
Yeah.
Vampires are cool.
No.
Speaking of what else is cool and also spooky season,
Mm.
spooky month. It's coming up. And what do we usually do around spooky time?
Naberus.
Nights of Naberus, my friends. It's coming back, and I'm going to take you on a little journey. So for your unfamiliar, new to Warframe, Nights of Naberus is our Halloweeny spooky time event where daughter dresses up, which is one of the best things in life. And she has a little store. You can use your mother tokens to purchase some festive items. And we do have a couple new things in the store. It brings back everything that was there in previous years. You can definitely get your oh, look at that ship. You can definitely get your hands on the Nactylus ephemera, which we know is Jeff's favorite ephemera of all time.
He can't stop us. That wings.
Jeff
Demon
guy.
wings.
Who's Jeff guy?
Gafoo?
Was the ship bug? Didn't
Yep.
fly it.
Don't
See?
look at it.
That's why we held it back.
Don't
And that
look at
means
it.
There's still work to be done. So note to self.
First of all, let's just look at the decor, shall we?
We shall.
We love the
Ooh,
Pumpkin.
spooky.
Oh, that's awesome.
spooky.
Calabaza.
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 Is that spider?
That's pumpkin in Spanish.
What spider?
Araña.
Oh, I like that one.
And what's
I like
congratulations in Spanish?
Congratulations.
Very good. So here you have things that she. Danny, you're spoiling stuff. Danny, damn. Take a step back.
Time travel?
Here's her little manifest here. Again, things that she has brought in previous years. Definitely get this weapon. I love it. It's my favorite. And then, of course, we have some new items and some things we've added to the store. We've added the Sheev blueprint and all of its parts. If you're not a person that plays Invasions, this is just another way that you can get said Sheev and the parts and, you know, be a completionist if that's your goal. And then we have, in spirit of our Revenant boy, we have the Revenant in Action glyph. And a personal favorite of mine, the haunted interior decorations, which I will show you momentarily. And then we have a Jackonaut statue. Look how cute he is.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's so
I want one.
cute. He's a little top heavy, but
Who among us isn't?
very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Speaking for myself.
All right, so you can look forward to that October 5th as well. You can get yourself some infested. Look at it go! We'll talk more about that in a second. But you just said Among Us, Trav.
Among us.
Among Us. So if we go real quickly, I'll show you what it looks like. Get up there.
Seen none.
Seen none. Haunted baby.
Ooh, yeah.
Are you ready?
I am.
Ooh, look at the focus.
Nice.
Yeah, the Chimickis did this
Sick.
last couple weeks.
Oh.
This like actually looks like my office after being gone from it for 2.5
This
years.
is true.
There's growths
I
on
love
the
the
wall.
pumpkins, the
I like this one.
17
Oh
eyes.
man.
That's great.
He's a little
The poor
deflated,
guy.
that guy, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
tired.
Weren't there some candles in the front or something?
I think so.
There's gravestones. Oh, look at that.
El Candela. Fire hazard.
Yeah.
My favorite is look at the little garland. Look at the little
Very, very cute.
They're so cute.
Yeah, they
Anyways,
did a
this
great
is
job.
going to be in Daughter's store when Nights of Naberus launches on October 5th. So obviously,
Permanent item, you get to keep it. What's the
permanent item. I mean, yes, it's permanent. Have you seen my festive
Yeah,
interior?
I was just gonna say, why did I even ask?
I did have it up, and then I don't know if you can tell, but I cleaned my room and I took away all my decorations. I changed my ship color. Guys, I was trying
Steve would have been so proud.
You shrunk your cursor. I appreciate
Did
that.
you really?
Wow.
Yeah, my cursor's normal. I know.
Normie
I
cursor.
feel
Yeah.
I feel wrong. I feel wrong
Yeah.
about this. Anyways, October 5th, Nights of Naberus is going to be Grace Your Presence alongside Revenant Prime. So, like I said, a spooky month to be had.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is upside down. Also coming. Were you going to say something?
No?
Okay, great.
You tell me.
Moving right along. What also happens in Spooky Month? If you're an artist.
Oh, Inktober.
Inktober.
true.
Our version, TennoTober. That is going to be launching this month as well, starting October 1st. You can actually do, I believe it's !TennoTober, and it will take you to the thread. It's locked right now because obviously it's not October yet. We've been doing this for a couple years now, and basically it's our Warframe version of what is Inktober. We'll give you some Warframe prompts, and you can draw your heart's desires. And this year we are doing a official Captura thread as well. We have really awesome community artists who do Captober, and they kind of started that, and we fully support that and love seeing that. And we also wanted to have a place where people could do Capture as well. If they're not artists like myself, I could do Capture and also get a little bit of a thank you prize at the end for participating, which is always nice to have. These are the same prompts that are going to be for both TennoTober and Captober if you want to participate. And then as well, additionally, we are bringing back the Orbital Haunt contests, which is basically making your Orbiter or Dormer Zone now, or your Spoiler Camp, or your all that stuff. Dojo. You could turn into a haunted house.
Oh man.
She scared me.
I just need to put your fashion frame in there and then it's done. Got him.
6.5. I'm a 6.5. Oh, that'll be launching this month as well. I think we're going to launch the contest on October 5th, but TennoTober and the official Captura are going to launch literally tomorrow on a Saturday because October 1st. So you get ready for prompt number 1, and you might have spied within those prompts the pink ones. Because October as well, it is Spooky Month, and we love Spooky Month, but it's also a very special month for us because we do Quest to Conquer Cancer, and of course we are bringing it back this year. It's lovely key art here, maybe spying a new cosmetic on Meg, I don't know, maybe you could get that. But we do have a video, a little kickoff video. It's going to detail kind of a TLDR of what you can expect, and play it, Danny.
Hey Tenno, Quest to Conquer Cancer is back for its 3rd year.
As you know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Digital Extremes is yet again teaming up with you, the Warframe community, and incredible Warframe creators to raise awareness and donations for the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation.
During the month of October, you can tune in every day to a different creator over on their channel. And on these dates, the community team will be hosting special Quest to Conquer Cancer streams over at twitch.tv/Warframe.
There will be giveaways and a ton of fun on these streams, so tune in to support and donate. This year, your donations contribute to the donation tier rewards that will be unlocked for all platforms.
The more we donate as a community, the more rewards we unlock. New this year, we have the Conquera Shoulder Ribbon, the Conquera 2 Ephemera, special in-game alerts, and, from community artist Royal Pratt, a new Conquera glyph.
Conquera merch is also available to purchase, and all net proceeds will be donated at the end of the campaign. The Conquera Saga Floof is hooting you on! Purchase this little round guy, and he comes with his own in-game floof.
A Conquera t-shirt with Royal Pratt's design and a pin collection by community artist Gamley are also here. You can purchase all of these separate or get it in a collection with bonus digital items.
Previous Conquera items are also back. Pick up the Conquera Cyan-Dana, Glyph, Sigil, and Ribbon in the in-game market for 1 credit.
Learn all there is to know about this year's Quest to Conquer Cancer campaign, including donation progress, rewards, and livestream schedule over at warframe.com/QTCC.
Join us Monday, October 3rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for a very special kickoff stream over at twitch.tv/Warframe. We'll have tons of giveaways and so much more.
Thanks to donations such as yours, some of the biggest cancer breakthroughs have come from Princess Margaret's clinicians and researchers. The goal remains the same, to conquer cancer within our lifetime, and that's where you come in.
Join us on the quest to conquer cancer. Together, we can make the difference. Sorry, our mics were hot, weren't they? Yay! Quest to Conquer Cancer is back. This is kind of a little brief points as to what you can expect. We are going to do a kickoff stream on this channel on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Danny and myself will be back to kick off the stream with you. And all of that stuff is going to go live. That website will be live. The merch will be live. Everything you want to know about Quest to Conquer Cancer will go live. You'll get to see all the donation tiers and the charity merch and all the great stuff. It's going to be a mix of the community team and also our incredible Warframe creators are going to be streaming every single day. Some of us are going to be joining them, and it's just a really great month. I'm excited to be able to do it all over again this year with some new stuff. Obviously, we see a little new ephemera there that you might be able to get, and I'm just really excited. A whole month long of really awesome streams for the community. So I hope you'll join us and hang out with us and support us on the streams. It's a very special month.
Yes, we got lots going on in October.
Danny looks confused.
Does someone have a phone near their microphone?
Hold on, let me check.
Oh no, it's
Who is it?
it's our group.
Oh, really?
It's our friends. Friends. Well, I'm gonna put it on the floor.
They probably
Sorry.
want the merch. They're probably like, where can I get that sweet
like,
floof?
Megan, give me that floof. We're gonna do 1,000 Platinum Prize while we are hanging out here. And just kind of what else you can expect on this stream. We are going to kind of talk a little bit more about a frame that we debuted at TennoCon, perhaps.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit more. Now, this frame is not coming in October, but we did want to give you a little update on the progress of maybe the wolf-inspired frame. As well, we're going to talk a bit about Prime Resurgence. We're going to go more into Echoes of Veilbreaker and kind of more stuff you can expect in there. And we're also going to do a little bit of an update on crossplay because a little test went live yesterday, but we'll talk all about that. That's coming up in a little bit. But 1,000 Platinum, Eric, go.
Zariago.
Zariago! There you go.
No.
Zariago.
Okay.
I don't know.
Please message our Warframe, or wait, Spanish.
Congratulaciones.
Oh, felicidades. Yeah.
Amazing.
Please
And
whisper.
you lied when you said this wasn't going to be, this wasn't only an hour dev stream. So we probably have like 25 more
yeah.
minutes of stuff to talk about.
I can speak really fast if you need.
That's
You do.
Please whisper on Warframe Twitch channel with your in-game alias and the platform you can play Warframe on, and we'll get you your 1,000 Platinum. All right. Wolf-inspired frame. We
Yes.
debuted it at TennoCon. We're working with Joe Matt on it, and we showed a lot of concepts actually during the art show,
Yes.
kind of the iterations of it all. But now we're working on the coloring, the official coloring of it.
Yes.
Tell me more.
yes. Yes.
So I colored it. Yeah. So we can show some artwork. Maybe. I just started coloring it. So
What are we looking at, Eric?
9 ideas.
Damn.
Yeah, so Joe and I went back and forth on some of this. I started coloring the drawing that he showed at TennoCon. We showed at TennoCon, so I just kind of started there. We picked a couple of them. I mean, they all could work. They look kind of cool, right? So, and then I talked with Reb a bit about it, I think, here and there. And Joe was leaning towards more like kind of Wolverine colors and stuff, which I thought was kind of neat, but I don't know if we could say that on stream.
You mean Wolverine the animal? Like
Yes.
the animal of the Great North Canadian one?
Yes,
Yeah,
of
of
course.
course.
The sound it makes.
The animal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course.
My favorite sound.
Yeah.
So then from there, we took a couple, and I think the next slide we kind of honed in on a few more here. So I redrew a standing pose to help with the 3D modelers, so they get a 3/4 front view, gonna work on a back view kind of thing. So because the crunched over posed, while cool, it's hard to see kind of all the details. And Joe Mad's stuff is really detailed already, so trying to decipher some of that was a bit tricky. I don't know how much will survive the process in 3D, but we'll see what we get there. So that was kind of the color we went for, number 5. We seemed to agree on that one. And while I was working it up, it got a little too much like Saren and some other colors.
Yeah.
I think I sent it to Megan. She's like, interesting.
I mean, I was,
And I'm like,
very
interesting
positive.
good, interesting bad. And so we chatted a little bit. I sent it over to Reb, and we were kind of like, well. So then I took a kind of a quick pass at a whole other, like 3 new ones, and I sent it to Reb, and I was like, I kind of like this one, and you agreed with it. So that's the next image.
dun, 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 dun. Wow.
So
There she is.
really liked how this turned out. So, and the colors pop, which is kind of what was lacking the previous iteration. So
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
these sorts of things are all part of, like, the first impression people have will always be with the default colors. We do color palettes with them, so we always want to build a unique identity out with
Totally.
those base colors because, well, it's usually the first thing people see. So,
Yeah, totally.
Until they go in with their pinks and their greens and their
they're
blues.
6.5s.
6.5s.
That is the second impression. You see it in the stream.
Yeah, that's the second.
Oh, you'll see it all right.
Yeah.
Look forward to that one.
But yeah, it's been super cool to work on this, and yeah, I don't know if you want to slide into the.
Yeah, I think just like
Next stuff, or-
generally, Megan said this isn't coming in October, and
not
for
coming in
this
October.
frame, we always thought in ourselves, how would we do this in a different way? Like not just making a werewolf, but wolf inspired. And I hope people really dig where we're going with her. We have everything is sort of, the things have started in a very interesting way. So pretty hyped for where it's going, for the wolf inspiration, or how do we say lobo?
Lobo
Lobo, yeah.
or Loba in
Loba.
this case.
Oh, Loba?
Loba.
Lobatita? I don't know. She's too big for that.
Yeah, there's some cool ideas
Yeah.
with this whole frame. I don't know if you want to speak about those things.
Eh,
or
we'll
wait.
leave that for, we'll keep you
We'll have
guessing.
Greg on here, and he can talk all about the stuff he has to do for
Yeah,
Wolf
because
Race.
putting
That's
this into
true.
3D.
He's got a lot of work to
He's
do.
got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, so she.
Oh, I saw a question about name.
Oh,
Good,
well.
good question.
I'm going to segue this. She doesn't have a name yet, but she's about to have a name because live right now, Marcus, hit the button. Live right now in the Design Council is submissions open for ideas for her name. Now, 1 submission per person. It's going to be open for a couple weeks. If you're in the Design Council, you can have a chance at naming this Warframe. And then what's going to happen after that is once that's done, we're going to take everything and kind of make a short list of it, probably a top 10. And within Quest to Conquer Cancer, one of the donation tiers is actually unlocking a poll for the entire community to be able to vote on this frame's name based off of that short list.
Shakira.
Shakira!
She-Wolf! Oh my god! Oh my god!
No.
Settled.
She's going to sue us.
No, we mean Shakira like the animal.
Oh, the animal.
like Wolverine.
The Canadian
Right.
Shakira, yes.
Right.
Of course. Rural Canadian Shakira.
Just like Wolverine, the animal.
Just like the Wolverine, yeah. So, Design Council Tenno, head on over to the forums, submit your name, and then, like I said, the dev team will be taking a short list from that. And then, within Quest to Conquer Cancer, when we reach that donation tier, which I know we absolutely will,
Especially if Shakira donates.
especially
girl.
if Shakira, hello,
Shakira?
you there? It'll be open for the entire community to vote off of that little short list of top 10, and then she will have a name. So, very exciting. Excited to finally have a name for her.
So many names.
I know. We're not taking them in Twitch chat unless you're a verified user by the name of Shakira.
Oh, Shakira.
Or Wolverine,
Or Wolverine, the animal.
the animal.
Now, speaking of the wolf-inspired frame, we do have a concept of what is going to be her signature weapon.
One of
Yes.
two.
Yeah, one of two, yeah. So you can maybe show it, but I was playing around with scythes and axes were kind of the two I was going for. And I was looking at Joe Mad's, obviously his wild stylings of things, and which is really cool. As I worked, this is kind of a first pass, and immediately was shot down.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Trash. Get this garbage. Get
They
it
were
out.
like, it kind of felt a little too deluxe skin. Kaz gave me some great feedback on all this, and from that, and I guess Reb, you kind of made a decision. We're going to go with a great axe.
Are you a creative director by chance?
I am not. Pretend to be though. No, it's been a long time since we've done an axe as a key weapon. I should remember, and I usually do, but I honestly couldn't remember the last
Hilarious.
actual axe we released. I know there's the Cindo and Cindo Prime, but like a version of me was like, what is?
Don't look at me. I'm an old man.
I know the
memory.
answer somewhere in here, but I was like, oh man, that's been a while, because we just did a new School of Scythes
Yes.
with the
Hespar,
two-handed scythe,
yeah.
and we just wanted to make sure we could get something, on my little map of what melee schools get the most attention. We have so many dual swords, and there's some that we haven't done in a long time. So there's two things that go into it. Last time we did something in that weapon school, and how many of a certain weapon school are there? So when we add the ghoul saw was its own of its kind, and now the two-handed scythe is own of its kind. So we need a bit more time. But Hildren, technically, she has Larkspur, and yeah.
What's
So-
that sound? Oh, okay.
You want to record,
Record it.
Let me know.
I've already recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garrus is a hammer, not an axe. Yeah, I literally I couldn't remember, but anyway.
We do have another piece of
So we
art
went with
for it
axe.
as well.
Well, it was really funny because watching the chat, they're all picking kind of the number that we
Right.
ended up going with, which was number 4.
Wow, that was
choice.
so right.
And
There's another one.
so yeah, so then
Yeah.
so Marco took over and started to render this out in a more Tenno style, less deluxe, which is what I was doing, and so he's killing it. It's awesome. So and Kaz and him have been working on this together, kind of refining it, and I think it's gonna be pretty rad. So
Super hyped.
and we have, I think, another thing to add, but we're not going to talk about that either yet, right? So
There's another weapon.
Let's save it, shall we? But again, not coming in October, but we just wanted to give you kind of an update on where she's at, and obviously, debut the fact that you could name her. So, little tie in there. And now we move on to really quickly wanting to talk about Prime Resurgence. We also mentioned on the last Devstream that it was going to be coming soon. And it did come. Prime Resurgence is live. And now this is going to be the next rotation. But Prime Resurgence is live, and basically what it is it completely takes over the Prime Vault program. So you're not going to see any, yearly Prime Vaults. Prime Resurgence is here to stay. Varzia is here to stay. We did some quality of life improvements as well to it when we launched it. And it's actually going to be on a monthly rotation this year. Obviously, when we did the limited time one, it was on a much quicker weekly cadence just because it was a limited time window. We wanted to get through all those vaulted frames. But now that it's officially here to stay, it is going to be on more of a monthly rotation. And speaking of that, the next one is going to be Valkyr and Saren, as we see here, and it is going to be arriving November 3rd. Now, obviously, I just said a monthly rotation, and that is a bit more than a month because we launched Prime Resurgence on September 14th. This round, we wanted to just give it a little bit more time because it is the first time bringing it back officially, make sure everything is working, Eye is in the drop tables, all that great stuff. So you can expect this new round of Saren and Valkyr to drop November 3rd. That'll refresh over in Varzia's store, and you can just keep doing what you're doing, and then, next month after that, Warframes.
Rotate.
So fun. Rotation. All right. We briefly talked about Echoes of Veilbreaker. Let's talk a little bit more about what we can expect in Echoes of Veilbreaker.
Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. So, like Reb mentioned, we have the Venkra and Sprague rework. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
Yeah, so for that, it's going to be something that's Kahl-centric that'll sort of be, we'll explain it in the patch notes, but you'll see them in an encounter for Kahl in his weeklies. And then I think we're going to re-skin the existing versions of them just so visually they are there's a continuity between the two. So you'll get the visual ones if you do play Void Sabotage on a Grineer tile set, that's where you encounter them. And then Kahl, because of the whole Grineer connection, will have a different relationship with these characters for his veil breaking. And then, we are expanding Dojo Rooms in the Echoes update, and the weapon skins that are coming with this are related to Venkra and Sprague. They have their own weapons that you'll get ye old cosmetics of. And then, we're going to have some QOL, like the cumulative challenges is going to be in this update, and a couple of other things, I think, as well. I'm trying to think of what else we're putting in it.
Just a little bit of tweak of numbers and stuff.
Number
like that,
tweaks,
but
yeah. Just trying to do some housekeeping with this update and then give everyone just sort of that cadence that the big update comes and then an Echoes one will follow that, makes the content a bit more robust, so we don't just move on to the next thing and then get more thematic content in it, which I think Megan is about to show us with for dojo lovers out there.
Yeah, I just wanted to really quickly show the new Dojo Room that's going to be coming with Echoes of Veilbreaker. Danny, if you want to pop over to my gameplay, blessings. So we're going to just...
Blessings.
Here we have the Ostron Cove. Wow.
Oh, that's neat.
Oh, new room.
New room.
Hell yeah.
Some remnants of the Ostron people.
Remnants of the people.
Remnants of the people.
We've killed them.
Well, I mean, they're not here, so I don't know where
Very
they are. We have some foggy water, very appropriate for Revenant Prime. Look at that.
That's true. This is just Revenant's room.
This is
This is how you
Revenant's
get Revenant Prime. You have to
Scary.
build this room.
Come into this room.
It's a lie.
Oopsie. So there will be, this is the Ostron Cove, and coming as well, I believe, are around 200 Ostron themed decorations. So if you are an Ostron individual and a dojo person, this is for you.
Swazadula, Tenno.
Swazadula Tenno.
Yeah, people want to know what Warframe Drifter armor means, so why don't we show... spoilers. Spoilers.
Spoilers. Really quick before you do that, also coming in 1.1 or
Probably
Echoes,
coming, because I
probably.
saw an issue with it in the fly-in
Yeah,
cinematic.
there's
so.
some things obviously we need to fix about it, but the Scout, the Scout Lisette will be coming as well. And then, yeah, Warframe armor on Drifters.
Is it coming? Does it work?
It's a work in progress.
So is it coming? Does it work? My question is still relevant.
It's a work in progress. It's okay. No, I'm just kidding. We just need to do a little bit more work on it, but it's basically exactly how it sounds, is all of your Warframe armor you'll be able to equip on your Drifter with, you know, some caveats.
Yeah, this has been an ongoing effort for
8
quite a
months?
while.
Eight.
It's taken a while.
8, 9 months?
But basically, it's kind of like you saw with Kahl, where Kahl can put on the Warframe armors or like
Well,
the
even our
crewmates.
crews, yeah,
or
regular
like the
crew.
crewmates. Essentially, is that, but for the Drifter and the Operator, so that you can basically it expands the options of customization exponentially, because obviously we have so many of those, and it just kind of opens up a whole new avenue of.
And there's one other cosmetic that I really wanted with Veilbreaker that got pushed into 1. Or I call it 1.1, Echoes of Veilbreaker, is a way for you to show what Archon shards you have installed. So this is a work in progress, and we're still working out some details, but you can customize your Railjack crew. Yes, you can put armor on them. Go to your dry dock. It's true. But if you can go to Megan's gameplay, I'll explain a little bit about this. But what we're going to try and do is an opt-in ephemera for you to show you. Don't worry about the name; it's none of your business.
Don't look at it.
But you'll be, and we'll work on offsets and stuff. But if you have Archon shards equipped, you'll be able to see them with this, just to kind of give it that visceral showing what Archon shards you have on a frame. Just because, as we know. I think it's kind of like metal AF. We have a couple different takes on it, and we're still working on it. This is heavily work in progress. However, I want players to be able to show what shards they may have put on their Warframe. So this one looks pretty painful for Meg, and like I said, it is whip. But fundamentally, I think it'll be cool to stab yourself with gems. Because who wouldn't?
Who
Honestly,
wouldn't?
who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? Yeah, scaling, size, all of that. Just
Working on it.
Work in progress. I just wanted to show you that it is in progress. Yeah, Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, you can Thanos the animal.
Shakira? Shakira the animal?
Shakira the animal.
Shakira the animal.
All from Canada.
Yeah, Infinity Gauntlet the animal. Yeah, so there you go.
Very cool. Now, speaking of working on things,
That's what we do.
as we do, Pablo, just creeping your Twitter. Talking a lot about Grendel on there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I was.
It was just funny because I saw some trending and we were already working.
Not
Grendel the
related,
animal
but
was
yeah.
trending.
It was Grendel, the TV show.
I didn't even know there was a TV show. Is it a Marvel show?
It's a TV show that got canceled.
But whose show is it?
I have no idea.
No
Apparently,
It's like a
we talked
comic
about this
thing.
last night. It's something to do with something you should know about. Something spooky.
Final Fantasy?
No. Chad will let us know in a second. Anyways, continue, Pablo.
Anyways, I saw it there, and so we were already working on figuring out a rework for Grendel, so I just kind of jested in
No jokes
Twitter
allowed.
that if Netflix was canceling it, I was canceling it too. So,
Oh, very good.
but
Is
I'm
there
not.
anything you want to share on it that you're working on?
He's a complicated one because he has essentially gonna need quite a bit of changes and also quite a bit of not, which I know sounds weird, but basically he has some stuff that is sort of game breaking at the moment that if I just buff everything else, then it's gonna be a
Well,
problem.
I think you can think of it this way. If 4 of us went into a mission as Grendel, one of us would have a lot more fun than the rest.
This is true,
That's
yeah.
like what, like when your entire life is eating the enemies available and there's a cap to that and there's 4 Grendels, one person is going to have more fun than everyone
Only
else.
one person gets to eat. Anyway, so we're doing a lot of changes there, making it basically addressing all the energy economy, making so that the ball is easier to get in and out, because right now it kills your momentum, speeding all that up, kind of streamlining all the things. His second ability, we're removing the wheel and putting all the buffs in one go, a lot of things like that.
We understand there are Grendel lovers. Like we're not changing it in a way that changes the core identity of what he does and is. And then I think you're also looking at another frame.
We're doing some minor changes to your early. Basically, we're making the passive be a little more lenient on how long you have to like stand around, and we're experimenting with changing her fort to be kind of like Nesha, which has like the 2 stages. So you first cast the bubble, and then you can leave the enemies CC'd in a ball there, and then you can press again to explode it. So it's like a 2-stage thing, sort of like Nesha does with
the Divine Spears.
With the spears.
Yeah.
Can we get some car crash sounds for exploding bubbles?
They're in there already.
Oh, damn!
That could be your answer to literally everything.
Yeah, car crash sound.
They've
car
always
crash
been
sound.
there.
All right. So a couple things to look forward to in the future. Now, something that happened in the past, aka yesterday. We did a little bit of a silent crossplay.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Yesterday we did our first crossplay test on the live environment, and if you logged in on PC or Xbox, you would have seen this notification go live, at which time you were probably like, what the hell is going on? Like, do you want to do? Yeah, because region chat was probably the most insane and most electric it's ever been when all of a sudden these icons started appearing to show crossplay. So I wanted to explain a little bit about what happened and what's going to happen next. So generally speaking, crossplay has been something that we really came out with last TennoCon as, hey, we're working on it, and also cross save works, and mobile is a thing. So that was a lot of, here's everything we're going to do, and now it's time to start doing it in an order that makes sense for the technical risks and the work involved. And really what yesterday was the first turn on the switch on the live build, and we did it for 30 minutes, and we got enough information to push us to the next test, which they're going to remain unannounced for now because we don't want to give people a date in case we have to move something. So really what you can expect is these to be intermittently appearing between builds for us, so that we can turn on after some testing, see what we got, bring it back, and all of this is ramping up into the first unification, which is crossplay. So when crossplay is in a good spot, then we will start the same process with cross save, and then all of the other things that come with connecting and unifying all the community. So yes, it was very unannounced, and now there's sort of one single source of truth about all this, where you can go to the forums and you can read Dudley's post and see
Exclamation point crossplay if you want to check
exclamation
out that
point
post.
crossplay, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, and there's reasons why we picked 2 platforms to start with, and I don't want anyone to feel excluded. That was really the first live technical test, and there are more to come. The process is going to be that, and when we're ready for a bigger, fuller, many platform test, we'll probably make more of a big deal about it. But for now, it's going to be blasts of telemetry, turning it on, seeing what we got, what are the crash reports saying, what is different about this than all of the fun things that come with launching crossplay. And that's really where we're at. We're really happy that we turned on the switch and got to see chat explode and also the game explode, but that's what we have to fix.
Seeing the little Xbox icons in chat, like I thought I was gonna cry. Like it's just really such a monumental step that we've been able to take, and like it was a small test,
cool.
but it is a step towards the eventual crossplay.
Exactly.
So, very
so
exciting.
we will be doing that every now and then. So you never know when the crossplay is going to show up, and that's how it's going to be until we're more.
Yeah, the unannounced is also so that a lot of players don't log in at exactly the time.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
And that gives us like wrong telemetry because because
If you get a
ton of
surge of
players rush.
login, everyone's trying to hit the. Yeah, we just need to do it the way we're doing it, and that's what we're going to do. So have fun. We're along for the ride, and we have plans, of course, on if certain things work for certain phases of the test, we'll move into really big things, folks. Really big things. But for now, just sit tight because test 2 is going to hit you when you least expect it.
And that forum post by the wonderful Dudley is the main place to be for all the information about crossplay. You can read exact little FAQ is in there and stuff that is restricted for these tests. So definitely that's a place you want to go when these tests do go live and you want to have feedback or bug reports, which are very important to us. That is
a lot of the bug reports are automated for yesterday's test, which is great, but a lot of them were just. We actually found a couple things. Like look links between, we had all these things, so it was great. We got a lot of information in that one 30-minute burst. That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
who knows what'll happen next.
Yeah, and then once we're able to get the code in there to fix that kind of stuff, the next test.
Exactly.
What else is happening in this crossplay world?
Yeah,
So.
but if you were able to watch it happen, that was a pretty fun moment in Warframe, and there will be more of them. So, starting with
Stay
PC and
tuned.
Xbox.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Speaking of more of them, let's do 1,000 Platinum Prize, shall we? Because we're about to wrap up.
Oh, let's see my notes here.
Check your notes, check your everything. One thing I did just want to really briefly mention about Kahl's Weekly and the Archon hunts. There was a bit of a back and forth this week on the reset for it. We're all good to go, and just a friendly reminder that the Archon hunt and Kahl's Weekly is going to reset this Sunday, and that is going to be the consistent cadence for the reset. So just think Nightwave, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 0000 GMT. That is when they will reset together.
And then Pablo won't be confused why I have 4 shards and he only has 3, and I'll be like, Pablo, it's
cheater.
Wednesday. And he's like,
I was literally confused.
I know. I was like, check out my Trinity build. I have 4 shards in Trinity. And he's like, how do you have 4? Did you cheat? And I was like, buddy, it's Wednesday.
Buddy, I'm a gamer. Eric, what do you got?
What's going
Prize. We have a prize that I can't read.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Un tizio acas.
Wow.
Is that Spanish or is it Portuguese?
Un and a could be Spanish, but Ticio, I have no idea.
It's
what
giving Portuguese. Or Italian.
that is. Ticio.
It's giving a romantic language. I don't
Very
know.
romantic. Please whisper the Warframe Twitch channel you're
Roll back
watching
the
right now
tongue.
with your in-game alias, platform you play Warframe
GG.
on, and we will get you your 1,000
Italian.
platinum. And let's do a Core Prime Access while we're
I am
sitting
Italian.
here.
This is so
I'm
embarrassing.
seeing Italian on
I see a lot of time.
chat.
I know.
Oh, are they
saw
talking?
French.
It is Italian. People are validating it.
Yeah, I know.
Wow,
Very
I
good.
saw
That
a
was
very
nice.
cruel thing that they want us to put Scarlet Spear again.
Who do we got, Eric?
Sadistics.
TBD reform.
Yes. So we'll go with that.
TV Dream.
TV Dream, congratulations. You have won Core Prime Access. Please whisper the Warframe Twitch channel you're watching
good.
right now with your in-game alias and platform you play Warframe on, and we'll get you your Core Prime Access. And the next time we do this, it'll be Revenant Prime, because it's coming out October 5th. Pew, pew, pew. Yay. All right. It's time that we wrap up this stream.
I have some closing remarks.
Please do. Close it up.
Now? Are we done?
Yeah.
The stream's over? All right. What did we talk about the stream? I guess we did October updates, Halloween
October
and
updates.
Revenant.
Quest to Conquer Cancer is coming. Kickoff stream October 3rd. Don't miss it. We'll be here. Danny's looking at me.
You have 2 other pieces of art that
Ammo!
Oh, right. Right.
You're an
This is just with the ammo changes that we did in terms of the numbers, we also are going to do an art pass on ammo pickups. So these are not to scale yet. We're still working on the art. This was just to show you that we will also be refreshing the actual ammo pickups so you can better tell without use of color which ammo signifies what as those get added to the game. So this is just concept art. This isn't modeled yet in game, nor is it to scale, but it's just to give you a version of things will be changing in that area as well. So you can get some.
Yeah, when we were selecting the meshes for which ones to keep after we removed the sniper and the other one, basically the art team looked at them and was like, "Whoa, this looks very old."
I don't think they've ever changed. I think ammo has been the same since 2012. Like
Just changing the
alpha.
colors.
I
every
think.
now and then.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, they have it's like the same, just kind of squished. And
Yeah. There's like the
Different
flat box.
colors.
Yeah. All right, someone's saying we didn't actually plan about our plans to address damage attenuation despite saying we would. So generally speaking, where we are with damage attenuation is holistically, we don't want a one-shot approach to Archon hunts. And I said earlier on in the stream that here's what we might do isn't what we're going to share with you today because we're not in love with it enough ourselves.
Yeah, essentially, we feel like we need it, but we also don't love it, and we don't. We have some ideas on how we can improve it, but we just don't know that they will get there. They're very unsolid at the moment.
Yes, and ultimately, we've had them in the game for a while, definitely with Kuvaliches and the Sisters of Parvos, and they serve a purpose, just like a lot of things to balance nebulously Warframe serve a purpose, and all in, it's just always under review. How to make it better. But in my mind, taking them off for these fights isn't the solution right now. Just turning them off altogether and not having damage attenuation just isn't going to happen in the Echoes of Veilbreaker update.
Oh, for sure not there.
Yeah. So we're still working on it. And we're reading all the feedback and we're watching all these. We're playing the content. I have 4 shards. Pablo has 3. So you
I have
know.
4 now.
Do you? Did you do it? Well.
You did do it.
That's right. So yeah, we're on board. We're looking, we're planning, we're thinking, but we don't want to give you a version of it that just might not exist. So with these dev streams, we're trying to keep them in the what's coming very soon realm. So the Wolf being an exception to that because we had some really cool stuff to share. But we definitely have an October dev stream.
Definitely.
And it's
Spooky.
Spooky. Actually, yeah, I guess it would be
28th.
close.
Oh, well, sorry, I didn't mean to commit to a date, but probably
Probably October.
probably October 28th. Sorry. I didn't mean to
And that one's
jump
going to
back.
be way more of a deep dive into the rest of the year,
Yes.
what's coming, and all of these things. Slate tread. Oh, okay. We got some feedback on the weapons.
Very nice.
Grawl. Grawl. Oh, yeah. Are we getting a Halloween event? Naberus will.
That's Naberus, October 5th. She's coming. Now, Danny, you said I had another piece of art?
Revenant's concept.
Oh, concept. Okay, yeah, show it.
Art.
Art.
Yay!
Wow.
Yeah. This was Marco
Marco. Yeah, he did a great job.
giving us the old Revenant Prime look.
So cool.
Ghost Daddy.
Yeah.
Nice colors.
Yeah.
Translated so
10 out of
well.
10.
Too.
It did.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with this one. We were looking at different ways to bring in the arm and the gold, and we got ourselves
His beard has taken on a new level. It's a full head beard.
exactly.
It goes up.
Remember at the
Right.
beginning, we
Beards are
changed
cool.
it very little, and look how
I know.
just
I know.
seen the
Look at
screens,
him.
guys.
Yeah. I think I just generally speaking, for as things go on, we know we're all working on Echoes of Veilbreaker. We're working on Duviri. We're working on cross play, which is going to pave the way for cross save. And some of you may have noticed that at the end of your gaming sessions on PC, that there are more sentiment surveys now, which I totally didn't take from playing all the Fortnite I do, that they randomly ask me questions. But we wanted to add that into the game just to get a different way to see what players are thinking right after they play the game, just so that we can push towards everything that we're working on with a little bit of data based on all these experiments we're running with these surveys to see what people are feeling the moment they stop playing Warframe. So you may have seen those. I just wanted to give a little bit of context to them. And there will be more coming. They're not going to be because all the surveys said this, we're adding, like PvP or this or that. We're just working out a system where we can get a general compass to, if you value exploration or parkour and all of these things. So generally, you can look forward to those in the coming weeks on different platforms. I'm pretty sure they're PC only right now. And that doesn't mean we're only listening to PC players. I just want to say that we're trying to launch these things to get a sense of what would work for us as we ask you important questions. And then, we have a pretty busy rest of the year.
Speaking of busy, I'm seeing questions about Plague Star, and we are not going to be running Plague Star this year, like Reb mentioned, focusing on Echoes of Veilbreaker, Duviri, all that great stuff. And we didn't want to rerun Plague Star until we had some fixes in for it, a couple changes. And we have a list based off of community feedback and bug reports, so thank you to people who gave those to us. But we are going to wait a little bit until we can implement those things properly, and then we will rerun Plague Star, but that's not going to be this year. Namaste.
We got limited things to work on.
Yeah,
so, yeah. Turning it on with the post-New War world.
Yeah, it's a little bit buggy, and we don't want to rerun an event knowing that it's going to cause issues for people. So we're going to take the time it needs to fix it up a little bit, and then we will rerun it. So we'll let you know when that does happen.
Yeah. Will we see Scarlet Spear again?
Yeah, that was the cruel.
I know.
the cruel
That's a
comment.
tough one. That was the first thing.
Tough? No.
Why? Well,
No.
why?
Hard stuff.
I
Hard
aged
stuff.
like 5 years in that 1 week.
So did I.
Yeah.
I used to have brown hair.
That was our first COVID work from home.
I know. I'm saying that the reason that went the way it did was it was the first thing we launched remote in a real. There's a lot. There's a lot.
It was
to
ambitious.
unpack
It was
there.
very ambitious.
Okay, wait for me to be on vacation when you do that.
Oh no, Pablo.
I'm not saying
I don't want to be around.
community. You are part of the. This is what you should be taking from this. People want it, and then you should say, why do they want it?
To cause us miseries.
No.
No.
I loved Scarlet Spear, but so did I. By the time it all worked, that was so
By
cool.
the time it all worked.
Yeah.
But it did work eventually.
Yeah, we would have to change a lot to make it work now because obviously there's an order of
Yes.
operations issue with the lore. But Pablo is going to say hell no, and I'm going to say, well, all the work was there.
Start that design doc, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We'll call it, how do you say scarlet in Spanish?
Escarlata.
Escarlata Spear.
I like that.
That's nice. That's romantic.
Scarlet Spear was dope. It was a
romantic.
fun event. Yeah, anyway, you guys are basically in a meeting with us at this point. I'll wrap it up. I know you guys have places to be, but thank you very much, everyone, for we have a lot planned. Thanks for watching.
Yeah,
we'll
thanks.
see you again in October on a dev stream. Eric, thank you for being here. Other Eric,
Thank you
thank
for
you for
having
being
me. No
here.
problem.
Pablo, appreciate you. Reb, always appreciate you. All right, chat. Have a wonderful night. We will see you next week for the kickoff stream of Quest to Conquer Cancer, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, October 3rd. See you then. Bye.
Thanks for watching.
What fatherless aberration is this? Who brings the wicked gift of an unknown master? What fatherless aberration is this? Who brings the wicked gift of an unknown mask this Naberus night? Seething with the void. Mocking me and causality alike. And what strange cruelty named him? To know and defy his death. This shadow of ill omen. This grim harbinger. This